have a work by Zainab Hussain. 3 works in embroidery on found fabric. My mother tongue is not my mother's tongue. My mother taught me to make mac and cheese and biryani, and we share recipes and traumas. And Zainab, I believe you're with us tonight as well.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me. Yeah, just to speak a little bit about the work. It came from, there sort of came from meditations on diasporic and the hybridized identities that come from that, from places where you have disconnections from your original culture and maybe forge new connections with the hybrid cultures or between cultures, and how we navigate those relationships, especially with other people. And in these pieces, I definitely focus partly on my mother, because so much of tradition, culture, language is passed on from the mother as, you know, an educator to her children. And I think in these text pieces, I sort of wanted to explore the points where things that are funny and painful overlap sometimes, in that, you know, often sharing traumatic experiences or even just painful experiences can result in like bonding, and we can even laugh about them later, even though they were very painful to experience at the time. They often result in these shared experiences that then allow us to make connections with our relatives, our parents, or other people within our communities, or even other people in other diaspora communities. When I talk to friends who are also, you know, from immigrant parents, whether it's, you know, European or Middle Eastern, South Asian, East Asian, it doesn't matter. Like, we all tend to have these experiences, and even though they're often uncomfortable, they result in a lot of humor and connection. So that was sort of the place that I was coming from with these phrases. And it was really important for me. They're hand embroidered. So it's important for me to have that connection between myself and the materials that I use. The materials themselves are sort of cast off pieces or offcuts from a larger piece that was used to make an outfit. So they carry their own histories, they carry stories. They come from places that you might call a homeland that you haven't even been to or that you don't really have a connection with. So in hand embroidering and spending a lot of time with these things, it's a way of me also, again, like making connections with these places, with those cultures. So, and through that labor, I was able to acknowledge also the connections that I was trying to make through those difficult and also fun and humorous conversations that I had with other people. I was able to meditate and take time over that in a, you know, in a society or a culture where it's usually very fast paced and getting things done quickly is always very important. And finally, I did leave them. If you'll see, a few of them are left only partially finished. And I guess for me, the funny thing is I hadn't known at the start whether I wanted to finish them or not. But in each of them, I sort of reached a natural stopping point, and I realized that maybe for me, almost like that work wasn't done yet. You know, dealing with this thought wasn't finished for me. And also maybe it needed the help of someone else as well, and that, you know, you cannot just forge these bonds by yourself. You can't force it. So yeah, hopefully these are things that maybe even other people could contribute to. The needle is left in there too, so that conceivably someone could pick it up and finish the thought themselves, and they could finish the thought in the way that I had outlined it, with the little pencil and the markers, or maybe they would go on to change it and add their own thoughts. But I guess I think it was important for me to leave that potential there, for me to continue and encourage myself to continue thinking, and encourage others to also think about, in relation to themselves, where this could go and maybe how it applies to them, and maybe it applies to them in different ways. But yeah, thank you. And I'm really excited to be part of the show, and I hope I can come and see it in person soon.